Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are continuing our multi-video series making a brand new app from scratch, live. It's not live, it's pre-recorded, but it is uncensored. It is slightly edited, but it's also not really thought out ahead that much. This is the next installment where things get authenticated. That's right. We are delving into the land of Auth for neat, and actually adding the ability to log in with Github in this app. So let's get to the code. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you haven't seen the previous videos, that would be helpful to understand what's going on here. So I recommend you check out the other videos in this XDaysSince playlist to actually get the full picture of what we're actually doing. So let's get on with it. Okay, as mentioned, we are up to number 2 of our list of things that we are doing, where we are adding support for you to be able to log in with NextAuth. So NextAuth is a really cool, it's not a plugin, it's a library, but it's built explicitly for Next.js to make it easy to authentication. I kind of think of it as like the equivalent of Passport.js for Next.js. So if you want to do Auth with Express or Node, you would use Passport.js. There's so many strategies that it has. Literally, you can log in with any type of provider. NextAuth is essentially the equivalent for Next.js, and it is wonderful. It is absolutely great. So to get things started, we actually have to install this bad boy, which I don't actually remember the actual library name. I guess it's this. So let's add this in here. Add in that NextAuth goodness. Yarn always is faster, so I don't actually have to pretend that I'm filling time that much, which is sweet. And that's done already. And let's just follow the tutorial, which is pretty straightforward. The first thing with NextAuth after installing it is you actually have to add the NextAuth route. So that's to handle when you go on to XDaysSince, you click login, it goes to GitHub and you say, yes, I approve XDaysSince to log in. It has to go back to your to my application to a specific route to actually complete that Oauth flow. And this is why you need to add this route to do that. So I need to make this path. So I have API auth. Let's just copy this and go into API, make a new file. We'll actually call this .ts because we're doing TypeScript, because TypeScript's the best TypeScript that ever TypeScript. Yes, you are a good TypeScript. What the hell was that? Let's copy and paste that in here because I like copy pasta. And now it's saying that all requests will be automatically handled by NextAuth. And then we're still not done yet because we need to actually, what do we next do? It's the cleanest way to check if someone is signed in. So let's just copy and paste this for now so we can actually test when things work. Let's go to in the README, I say that if you try to go to the create page, we should redirect you to the home page. So let's add this code on the create page for now, and we'll come back and look into it again. But we're gonna do copy and paste this. Again, copy paste development is the best development. And let's just copy and paste all this content. And I'm just gonna put it right above here. And there's no TypeScript right here. Object is possibly undefined, which is fine. So we can do this, and everything is unhappy because user can be undefined. And now TypeScript is happy because the session might not exist, and TypeScript wants to make sure that you're doing all the checks that are needed in there. To allow session state to be shared, you actually have to do the provider, which is a good idea. I'm just following this nice little page, which is nice and easy. So let's go here in my app, which is the page that's shared for every client-side page. We'll add this onto the wrapper, and then we'll do this down here as well. Provider. Okay, save that. Page prop session, good. You set the next environment variable to the canonical URL Okay, I'm going to skip that for now. Okay, so we have the raw getting started working, but if I were to start this up, I know it won't work because we actually haven't configured the provider. Not the provider, where is it? Here it is. Yes, the provider, the Authentication Provider. And that's kind of how Passport.js works, similar to NextAuth, where there's different providers for which people can sign into with. So the one that we're going to be using is GitHub. And the way to do that, so if I go to GitHub, which is over here, it says that I can go into this page. So I have to register a GitHub Oauth app because I am making an XDaysSince Oauth app on GitHub so that when you go to XDaysSince and try to sign in and you go to GitHub, GitHub is going to tell you that you are giving permission to my application to access some of your information. So I have to register with GitHub that it exists. So it's a common OAuth flow. I'll make a new OAuth app. I've done it for other applications in the past. A thing here to notice is I have a separate app, VotiUppy, which if you're not aware about, I recommend you check out. It's all open source. It's the precursor kind of to these videos, but it's where I first used Next.js. Top voted thing here is to show how Next.js works, which is this is more the abridged version in my opinion, because I'm not really going into detail, but maybe some detail. But I have separate environments for it. I have local and I have production. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, which is what's the name? New Auth app. We'll do XDaysSince local, and the URL is going to be, the homepage URL will be, I think, localhost. So here, I'm going to paste this, and it's going to be GitHub. Oops, wrong page. This is the URL, and then this is the callback URL. This is where GitHub will send you after you approve to go here. So let's register this application, and this is the right port, right? When I spin up, yes, it's 3000. So let's register this application. Let's kill that. Sweet. I have my client ID and everything like that. So I want to make an env file. So let's do touch.env. .env is kind of, Next.js supports it out of the box, but essentially what you put in here is available as a environment variable for free. So let's just go here and steal these two names like that. This is my fun little, okay, like that. So my GitHub ID is this one. And the secret, which I'm going to have to generate. So here's a secret that I generated. And I'm actually going to cut ahead and make a new one because this is a secret. You should know about this secret because it means that you could impersonate my application. But I'm just kind of showing you the full flow of things where I'd copy this, put it in here, but I don't want to do that because if I use the same one, you can cause an issue. So let me cut ahead and actually, hide this, but actually use a real one. Okay, so I made a new secret. You won't know about it. It's not for you to know. But suffice it to say, when I start up Next.js, those two environment variables will be filled in here so that Next.js can properly configure itself to work. So I think that's it. So if I start up yarn dev and spin this up, and I load the page, and I go to, was it create? Let's go to create. A warning from Next.js. The environment variable is not set, which I think is okay. Ooh, the AC is coming on. The NextAuth URL is missing. And I think that's what they were talking about on the getting started page, right? This one? Yeah, so let me add that in to remove that warning, but I'm not going to show you the secret. Okay, so I put the secret in there, so let me start it back up and get rid of that warning, which looks like it's doing. Sweet. Now if I go to create, I'm not signed in, which is what I want because I haven't signed in yet. And here I am on the create button. So there's no session, I'm not signed in, and I can call the sign in action to start the OAuth flow. Well, I guess it's redirecting me to the page to sign in. So I can sign in with GitHub, which again here is showing me the OAuth flow to authorize my application to access my account, to essentially delegating out the permissions outward. So I can authorize myself, go back, and I am signed in. I am signed in correctly, which is awesome. I even got an email. I got an email from GitHub saying that a third-party app has been added to my account, which is good because I've now given somebody access to things here, which is nice that GitHub gives me a heads up. So I'm signed in, and I can sign out. And that's it. I have Auth working. That was NextAuth. That was the raw bones of it, which is the coolest thing of NextAuth. It's just how simple it is. So I can actually go back. So I guess I could save this. Well, I don't want to commit that. Actually, what I'm going to do is make, this is what I did for my other app. I made a .env template. So let me go here, and I'm going to say git ignore. I don't really want to commit. Here we go. Local end files. So I'm actually going to rename .env to .env local so that I don't commit it, but I can use it for local development. So now I believe that the env behavior should still pick that up, which means that things should still work, but it's going to be ignored. Okay, let me just check to make sure that was correct so I can sign in. And because I already gave approval to GitHub that XDaysSince can access my user account, it just works. I don't have to see that prompt again, which is really cool. If I wanted to, actually could revoke access if I wanted to see. Let me sign out to not make things weird, but I can revoke access. And now, if I try to sign in, it's going to ask me to give access again because I revoked it, and that's kind of how Auth works. It's a nice, secure way for me to control what applications have access to my account. But now, let me commit this because this is cool. We got package.json in NextAuth. I got yarn lock file changes. I added the provider to make all the hooks usages of NextAuth efficient. I added some boilerplate code to create, which I'm fine with. I can remove it for now. And here, let me just clean up some of these comments. Delete that, and then I'm just going to delete that as well. Let's save this, and then let's go to the README, and it's saying, let's do this. Add support for user to log in with NextAuth. Awesome. So that's working. However, when I push this up to Vercel, because I already bought the domain, it's not going to work there because the Oauth app, why did I close that page? Let's go back to the page. Lets me create my own application. Because this app that I made is only for local. So let me think how I can make this for production. Production requires two parts. One is to make a new app, and then also to update Vercel to save those environment variables in there. Whew, that's a tall order. Maybe let's deal with that a little bit later, because I still want to add some functionality to the application right now. I want to say if a user isn't logged in and they go to create, to redirect them to /. So if a user isn't logged in, they go to create. So if we go to create and there is no session, I want to do a redirect. And I don't know how to do that with Next.js. How do I do a redirect? Redirect. These are actually redirects. I want to do. That's not the kind of next router. I actually just want to redirect you somewhere manually. How do I do that? Here we go. I just want to redirect you. So if I do, where's my router? Where did I use it before? Use router. Okay. Again, I am the copy pasta king. No! There you go. Didn't copy the right pasta. Alright, so I got the use router. Let's copy this. Let's go over here. Let's save that. Where am I? Am I logged in right now? Let's go to create. Nope, that's production. Don't want to go to production. Here we go, local. I'm signed in. Let's sign out. So where am I? They got router dot push is what I want to do. So what I'm going to say here is if I am not loading and I have no session. So these if statements always make me laugh because this is how my brain thinks, but the way to optimize this is to actually go, actually no, I'm just gonna keep this right here. You could optimize this, I think. You could say, I don't think you can optimize this. If you're not loading and there's no session. So if you're not loading in no session, then I wanna do router.push to the route. Just like this, and do an early return. Like save that. So now if I go here, nothing, or return null. Okay, let's return null. So let's go to create, save it, like that. Aha, there we go. So I try to go to profile, try to go create. It does not let me, which is a very easy way to solve that. So that's one thing done. Checkity check. You go to profile, redirect to that. So same thing for profile. And if user is logged in, show users info on the profile page. So let me move this to the index page. Index. And let's just put this down here and copy this over here. Save that. Whoops, didn't copy this over. Save that. I don't care about loading here. Save that. I'm only using session there. Save that. Okay, refresh. There's not logged in. That's kind of hidden. So let's actually just move it up. Maybe put it inside here. There we go. There we go. That looks better. There we go. So not signed in. If I go to create, redirects me. If I sign in and I go to create, it works. Pretty good. And then on the profile page, what I want to do is profile page, essentially the same thing as the create page, but a little bit more. So let's do use session, paste that there, save, paste that there, paste that there, copy and paste this. And I could extract that into a custom hook if I wanted to, but I don't really care about that quite now. Just trying to be efficient with my time. Oh, need to do this. Well, I mean, a custom hook would be pretty easy, right? So pages, I can make a utils folder, which is just the place that things die, but whatever. New folder, utils slash use redirect. Use require logged in. How's that? I don't know if it's going to require JSX, but let's open that file. Wait, that is the folder? No. Is it? Yeah, something happened stupid there. Let's delete that. New folder. Actually, that's why. So I make a file. So it should be utils slash use required logged in. Nah, no hook. I changed my mind yet again. So where am I? I'm on the profile page, which is not named correctly. Profile page, if you're not logged in, redirect, go home, profile. But also what I want to do is show you your information if you are logged in. So I can do session.user, what is on here? I just do this, JSON stringify this null2. There we go. And we can make this formatted a little bit better. Like that. There we go. The quick and easy way to show your JSON information. This is a fun little tip. JSON stringify has two other arguments, which is the value to stringify, the replacer, which is an array of strings, which is, I'm just using null. Like, what should you replace spaces with? And I want it to not be replaced. And then how many spaces to add for indentation. So it's 2. So this is just rote memorization to get this nice little pretty printed JSON. But it's working. So now if I go home and I sign out, I go to profile, it takes me right back home, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So that is the second part of that. And let's commit that in. Like that. Redirect user to home if they are not logged in. Nope, that was a search. Like here we go. Let's review it real quick. Looks like code, looks like code, looks like code. Sweet, let's commit that. Sweet, that's working, that's good, I like it a lot. Okay, so that was doing authentication, not authorizations, like a weird B, in a nutshell for XDaysSince. Logging in. Hopefully you enjoyed that and got a little taste of how easy NextAuth makes things. It is seriously awesome library. The worst part of making applications, in my opinion, is figuring out authentication, and NextAuth makes it dirt simple. If you're not already a subscriber, do become one to catch more videos like this. And hopefully you enjoyed that, because I did. We're making slow and steady progress in this application, so glad for that. If I don't see you again, that's probably because you're not a subscriber, so become one. And if I do see you again, I look forward to it. Stay happy, stay coding. See you next time. Bye.